Hello guys, I am Fizzy and welcome back to another league race on F1 2016. It is time for the PC Split 1 around 15 at Singapore, which is a circuit that is currently wet. Oh my god, heavy rain conditions at the start of qualifying. That is not really what I had planned for. Luckily it dried up a little bit towards the end, so that at the end of the session it was time for intermediate tires, and the times were really going down for everyone really as the session went on, which is a very cool type of qualifying. I do like those type of qualifying where it dries up and the track condition gets gradually better, because then it's usually the final lap you do in the session that will be your fastest. So it is indeed my final lap in this session that you will be watching right now, as we had a pretty reasonable first part of this lap, a bit of a slide onto the main straight. Well, I say main straight, but I guess a longer straight on the circuit down into turn 7, which is usually the main overtaking spot around here. Gonna try and turn in from the wide area and hit that apex nicely, not get too much oversteer. Then turn 8, another slow speed corner, which obviously, you know, Singapore is full of slow speed corners. And actually you can see I'm nearly a second up on the previous lap in the session at this point in time. A session that, or a time even that has me P11 only though at the moment, out of 15 racers here today, and as you can see my position is dropping gradually as well, down to 12th now as we navigate this middle sector of the lap. Now coming over the bridge with a bit of a slide and into the heavy braking zone for a turn 13, pretty tricky one. And then it is about throttle control on the exit here, trying to minimize the wheel spin as much as possible, and I think we have done that reasonably well. So now we go into the final sector of the lap. For some reason I wasn't using the whole track on the entry there, but still I think it's an okay line through there. Now into the final section of the lap, where you'll first go right and then left, and then we'll be going left and then right, and then we'll be going right and then left again. So yeah, pretty tricky circuit in the wet especially, and not one that I'm particularly fond of myself. You know, to be fair, I've had a few decent results here in the past, but it's not usually a circuit I particularly enjoy driving, as we have had a pretty poor exit actually out of the penultimate corner, a bit of a kind of bogged down a little bit on the exit as we didn't get the perfect line, but then through the final corner, let's see what the time will be. Bit of a slide there as well, P11 only. It was not the best final sector, to be honest. Only 5/10 of an improvement in the end after being 8/10 up after the first sector. So final sector, a bit of a disappointment. And look, there's my new teammate sitting in the wall. That is SN92, who was taken over from Race Fanatic after his wheel broke down or something, basically. So he's my new teammate, and he's qualified in the position behind me. So we're both just about outside the top 10. Which, if it was a dry qualifying, would have been too bad, obviously, because that would have meant that we were the first cars on the grid to get a fresh tyre choice for the start. But of course, because we all qualified on the intermediates, that means everyone, even in the top 10, will get that benefit. So you can see my plan strategy here: soft tyre to start with, and then super soft to end. Although to be fair, I had been debating a little bit with myself as to stretching the soft tyre out a little bit, and maybe go on the ultra soft even at the end of the race, but we will see what I will do as the race goes on. So, time to race then for the Singapore Grand Prix. The lights are currently coming on and away they go. Pretty good start actually. We completely jumped Nuka, who might have had a lag start to be fair, because he rejoined during qualifying, which tends to put you a little bit out of sync. But now let's try to navigate this first corner cleanly. We're going around the outside of Mini Black as well on that corner. Now we've been forced wide to avoid hitting the back of Nicky, but still we have stayed ahead of Mini Blacks. Actually no, he's side by side with us into this corner. Jesus. And he's actually been braver on the brakes there, so we've dropped back behind him in 10th place now. Nuka now challenging us down at the straight, with Marco sitting there just behind as well. Nuka not really sure what way he's going to be going. He's going to look to the inside into turn 7. I'm going to leave him room just in case and just carry the momentum around the outside to defend that position. And then, you know, park my car in the middle of the track as Nicky and Kellon is coming a bit together a little bit in the battle for 7th, just up ahead. Nuka again sticking his nose a little bit on the inside, but so we've done the same thing to defend, so we're still in P10, gained 1 position of where we started, as the field is now snaking its way through the middle sector of this lap. Obviously this particular section been changed a little bit from previous seasons, I believe, unless it was changed last year, but I didn't really play F1 2015, so I can't remember. And now Mini Black is forcing Nicky out wide a little bit. They're very close to coming together. Maybe a tiny bit of contact. And I'm going to try and cut underneath and get them both on the straight potentially. We're basically 3 wide into the corner. Although I think Nicky has backed out a little bit. And we've locked up. Didn't intend to leave that much room on the apex. Mini Black still side by side with us into the next section. Which is a bit of an awkward place to be side by side. I'm going to try to stay on the outside here. And get the inside for this one. Can we carry enough speed with the title line to stay ahead? We're still just about on the inside, and there we go under the grandstand, and we are still ahead of Mini Black. So we gained 2 positions there. Some good side-by-side action, and up to P8 we go. But of course, look at how much of a gap ahead this has caused by us battling so hard on this lap. That is several seconds now from me up to 7th place Kellon. So this battling has really just split the field in half, and I'm now at the head of a big train. Nicky has passed Mini Black behind me, and will now be challenging me on those ultra soft tires. Actually, he's got much better tires at this moment in time, but he didn't manage to take advantage of that on that particular straight. Now though, coming into the well, straight on the other side of the track, I suppose we can call it, and we've completely oversteered, gotten too heavy on the right foot out of the corner, and that has just gifted Nicky an easy overtake, unfortunately, unless we can try a bit of a cut underneath there. But now another little slide, and Nicky has got superior grip on those ultra soft tires at the moment when they are not particularly worn. And now on lap 4, Nuka is again looking up the inside into turn 7, and again I'm just left a little bit too much room for what I actually intended, and he's going to remain side by side around the outside for this one. And he has done what I did earlier, just carried a bit more speed with the wider line, and that has unfortunately given Nuka that 9th place position at the moment, which is not quite ideal. And you can see Nuka starting to pull away a little bit as well. So we got a yellow flag now, and Nally retired from the session, so I can only assume that it's his car that we'll be seeing on the side of the track as we come through the Singapore sling. And there we go, Nally sitting in the wall. He's out of the race, destroyed his vehicle. That is a shame for him, of course, but a free position for me. So although I don't really like to see other drivers in the league having a bad time, I will of course take the free position for myself and not complain too much about that from a racer's standpoint. Now though, might want to complain a little bit about Marco just being completely superior with the DRS on the straight, and he's also on slightly better tires at the moment, super soft tires, and he started pulling a gap as well after passing me. And now Mini Black will be challenging me on the same corner, but we're a little bit further ahead of him, so we have at least been given a chance to defend here with the inside line, and we've done it okay there. As we got Nuka's car lagging a little bit up ahead, and Marcus retired from the session. Oh, he's had an incident with Nuka even. Marcus out of the race, out of turn 8. And whether that was an actual incident with Nuka or an incident because of Nuka's car lagging, I'm not completely sure, but I know that Nuka was starting to lag a little bit at this stage of the race. He was having the sort of ghost car issue where his car would just randomly start slowing down when it's not actually him driving that slowly. So I was a little bit unsure, and I can't even remember at this stage doing the commentary as to whether this is Nuka's actual car that we're passing here. Because he's going quite slowly, but you know, even if it is actually Nuka or just a ghost car, I will still have to try and get past it. So we're on the outside of the corner through here, and to be fair to Nuka, I think it might even be the real Nuka, because he's done well to hold it on the inside there and still trying to fight back. But I think we've just about stayed on track there and maintained that position. Mini Black also getting ahead of him efficiently there. So we are currently up to 7th place out of 15 in the session. Mini Black though now looking incredibly close onto the straight, and this time with DRS as well on lap 11. We're still going to try and keep it offensive with the inside line, but Mini Black is just a little bit too far ahead. Potentially that's going to hold it around the outside. We're trying to get a good exit, but his car was just in the way. Just couldn't use the wide entry on the track there, and we got a bit of oversteer as well. So Mini Black now, the first time in the race, actually for a second, he was briefly ahead of me on lap 1. But now he's back ahead. Unless we can fight back, we are just not quite enough alongside to go side by side through the Singapore sling, which is such a tricky section of the track. So we're just going to try and stick with Mini Black now. We are on the same tires, of course, as we head towards the middle part of the lap, and he is indeed going into the pits at the end of lap 14 with 15 laps to go, so just before the halfway point. That's interesting, to be fair, because it's definitely a one-stop race around here. And Mini Black also started on the soft tires. Now Kellon also into the pits from his super soft tires on the next lap. Non-runner coming out of the pits at the start of lap 19 just to say a little hello to me, as he is then inevitably going to pull away on the super fresh super soft tires. So I'm going to go in at the end of lap 19. I was doing what I said at the start. I was stretching my soft tire stint out a lot longer than I could have, and you will see in just a moment why I've done this. I've taken a bit of a gamble here. Obviously, Mini Black pitting 5 laps earlier will definitely have gotten a major undercut on me. But Mini Black is on the super soft tires, as you can see on the graphic in the top left, and I have gone onto the ultra softs for the final 10 laps of the race. It is a gamble, because from stretching my stint out this long, I have definitely lost a lot of time. You can see Mini Black is now coming out of turn 1 even. He's like 10 seconds ahead potentially, as I might even be passed by Nuka, who's coming into turn 1 now. And obviously when I said Mini Black was on the exit of turn 1, I meant turn 3, this one. And we have just about stayed ahead of Nuka, which is crucial at least. But the question now, of course, then is, as we are going to get a position of Ezent, my teammate, going into the pits. So we're 8th position with a 9.5 gap to Kellon. Luckily, though, these ultra soft tires were absolute godly. And with Kellon being on the soft tires, we were closing on him rapidly. So now on the end of lap 24, we have closed that massive gap to Kellon. And we are right there behind him. Within a second, we're going to get DRS for the first time in this chase. Going to use that now on the main straight to hopefully get it close enough to him through the first few corner as well to potentially get a move on the next DRS rate. So here we go. Going to try to get a nice line out of turn 3 and just stick behind him into turn 4 or 5 even, as this actually is for some reason. And there we go. He's even gone a bit off the apex, so we should have, in theory, a pretty easy move here with DRS. Which way is Kellon going to go? Is he going to defend? No, it looks like he's going to let me have the inside edge, maybe realizing that my tires are just quite better. Although we've completely locked up making that move. I'm very glad that Kellon didn't try to hold it around the outside there, because then I would have pushed him off the track because of that lockup. And now that we're sliding through the next section, the grip on the Ultras is not quite working in our favour anymore. But we have managed to stay ahead of Kellon. Fair play to him, he tried to fight back. But on those tires, it was always going to be hard for him. And now we will be starting the chase on Mini Black, who is in Nest car up ahead, of course. And this is when we'll know if this strategy and this gamble of stretching the soft tire stint out will actually work. Because we were, of course, right behind Mini Black when he went into the pits. And if we can catch him again, then, as that is Mini Black off the track. He's sitting in the runoff there. Mini Black chilling out with a cup of tea in the runoff of the circuit. Not sure what has happened to him. Has he had an incident with the next car up ahead maybe, which is Ryan, or has he just made a mistake there himself? I can't quite remember. But either way, it doesn't matter to me. I'm up to 6th place, and now with a 5.3 second gap to Ryan, which is dropping quickly. 3.1 second on the next lap. We've got 3 laps remaining in the race now, coming off the end of lap 29. We've only got lap 30 and 31 to go, and we are closing in on Ryan, my old co-op teammate, very, very quickly. Only a second and a half to go as we start the penultimate lap of the race. And this is, of course, the chase for a top 5 position, which I never in my dreams would have thought I would be getting at this track, especially having started the race in 11th on the grid. But although the pace generally, you know, it's not been the best, I would say, but it's certainly also not been the worst. And we have managed to stay completely out of trouble and run consistent laps throughout the race. And in the end, that has put us with an infinite chance of getting a top 5 finish, if of course we can get past Ryan here in the last couple of laps. Certainly we are closing in visibly, as you can see. We just need to try and stay within a second, of course, and then on the final lap of the race we will be getting a bit of DRS action to try and make this overtake happen. Ryan, of course, who was streaming this race as well on his YouTube channel, and will probably be sweating a little bit. It's about pride, isn't it, between us? Those of you who have been watching the co-op series I did with Ryan on F1 2012, and then again on 13? Did we do the 13? I think we did we? Actually can't remember right now, but we also, of course, did it at the start of 2016, but that didn't quite work out for various reasons. But Ryan will definitely not want to be passed by me. However, I will definitely want to get past Ryan, just to show that I am the master of this relationship, which unfortunately I was not when we did co-op, because he beat me in that. So let's see what we can do now as we come onto the main straight to start the final lap of the race. We will have DRS, of course, as well to start this lap. Yeah, actually I just remember that it wasn't Ryan I did co-op with on 2013, it was Carrie on that occasion, and also on 2014. But yeah, Ryan did beat me in the co-op on 2012, so this is the path to rectify all my mistakes back then. So can I do it? Fuel's been put up to rich mix for this straight coming up with DRS. Gotta stay close to him on the exit, and we have done reasonably well. This tiny bit of a slide, but here we go. Can we get enough run? Ryan, unsurprisingly, defending the inside line, but the overspeed into the corner and the top speed of this Renault has pulled us ahead with a bit of a awkward turn in. And there we go, we have our car ahead into 5th place in the race. If you can only just not make a mistake now until the end of this lap, this will be a good result for us considering, you know, my general not too fondness of the track and also where we started on the grid. As Tyrannosaurus won the race, as usual. No further comment really needed on that one. Fair play to him. He is an absolute beast on this game. We got Nick B now in the next position ahead of us in P4. And he's not too far behind me in the championship, I think, actually. So we're going to drop a couple of positions in as we now have... was that Nuka's AI car? Yeah, I think Nuka disconnected from the session at some point. And his AI car was continuing to drive around for us as we got fireworks to celebrate. Obviously, those fireworks are to celebrate me getting a top 5, definitely not for Tigger winning. And yeah, Ryan still staying pretty close to us actually. Yes, again, we not had the best line through the bottom corner, but we should have enough in hand on Ryan to get this 5th place position through the final corner. Try to not run wide, and there we go. Check the flag for us, and it's a top 5 finish in the Singapore Grand Prix of AOR PC Split 1. You can see the full results here. Non-runner and Marek joining Tigger on the podium. Nick B getting that 4th place. Ryan in 6th, just behind us. Although the time says that he's way behind us because he had quite a bit of a penalty. But I think realistically you can take away 10 seconds on both Ryan, Tigger and Marek, because you know, when you get a 10-second penalty around this track, it's usually very unfairly given out for just a minor extent on the final corner. But in any case, here is the driver championship after round 15 out of 21. Tigger has already wrapped up the title, so he is the champion of season 12 on PC, which has been a long time coming. Well done to him again. Non-runner quite a bit ahead of us now, and with the pace he has shown throughout this season, I think we will need to focus on keeping the 3rd place that we have. Marco and Nick B, the next cars, will be trying to chase me down for that. And in the Constructor Championship, of course, my new teammate scored 1 point to help the total out, but Williams not far behind, though, only 15 points, and when Runner in good form, that could also be a bit of a threat in the coming races. But I think we'll wrap it up there for the Singapore Grand Prix. It's been an interesting race. I quite enjoyed it, actually. More than I thought I would going into a race at Singapore. And next up, we will have the Malaysian Grand Prix for the first time very late in the season. It's usually an early season race, but it's been moved and is now round 16 of this championship. So I hope you'll join me for that. Hope you enjoyed this video as well. Give it a like if you did. Comment below if you have anything to say about the race or just want to ask me anything in general. I'll try to answer anything, really. And of course, see you around for the Malaysian Grand Prix next time out. Goodbye.